So we all know the old central matrix switcher is, well, it's on its way out. The industry has been talking about AV over IP for years now.
For years.
But the conversation has really shifted, hasn't it? It's not, can we do it anymore? It's more like, how painful is this going to be to integrate?
Exactly. And that's why today we're looking at the Digital KD-IP1022DEC-II. This is their second-gen 4K AV over IP decoder.
Right.
And you're spot on. We are so far past proof of concept. It's all about deploying these, decentralized networks without needing a PhD in IT to actually manage them.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
Right. So this unit, it sits behind a display, talks to a managed gigabit switch. So instead of that central brain in a rack.
Right. The network itself becomes a brain.
The network is the brain. And that just fundamentally changes the whole scalability.
Absolutely. It creates virtually limitless expansion. You're not capped by, 16 or 32 ports on a box?
No.
With this system, you can scale video walls up to 16 by 16.
16 by 16. That's 256 displays?
It's massive.
It is massive. But, just pushing pixels to a huge grid is kind of table stakes for enterprise AV over IP now.
Yeah.
What really stood out to me was this mosaic video wall feature.
Yes. That's where they're trying to stand out. See, standard video walls, they need uniformity. Same screen size, perfect grid.
Rigid.
Very rigid. Mosaic lets you create these decorative, asymmetrical layouts. You can mix different monitor sizes, you can offset them, space them out.
Which usually means you're breaking out the command line, right? Typing in complex bezel coordinates.
Not anymore. That's the key. They've moved all that complexity into their KDMS Pro software. It uses these graphical templates.
So you just drag and drop.
You literally drag and drop the layout to match what you've built in the real world, and the software handles all the image displacement and scaling. It just works.
That's a game changer for digital signage. You don't need to be a coder to build something that looks like a custom art installation. But what about managing the signals? The unit supports independent switching for video, audio, and USB.
Yeah, and this is huge for control room environments. You can have the video feed coming from one server, pull the audio from a totally separate news feed, and then map the USB control to a specific workstation. They're not tied together at all.
And speaking of separate signals, the downscaling on this decoder solves that classic problem, the lowest common denominator issue.
Oh, yeah, the old 1080p screen ruins it for everyone problem.
Exactly. The source has to dumb itself down.
Right. But this decoder, it takes the full 4K signal, we're talking up to 4096 by 2160, and it down converts it locally right at the endpoint.
So the main boardroom gets full 4K, but the older, say, 720p monitor in the lobby still gets a perfect picture without degrading the source for everyone else.
It saves so much money in retrofits. It extends the life of all that existing hardware.
And since you mentioned USB, let's touch on the KVM side. It's USB 2.0 routing for up to 4 devices, keyboards, mice.
4 simultaneously, yeah. But there is a big catch here.
It's not for your Zoom calls.
No, it does not support webcams. It's built for low bandwidth control data, not high bandwidth video return. So great for controlling a PC in another room.
But not for unified communications.
Sure.
Got it. Now, what about audio? It's not just a pass-through.
No, it actually works like a little preamp. It can de-embed the audio from the HDMI stream to analog terminals for an external amp.
Okay.
And it has onboard volume, muting, a 3-band EQ, and even lip sync delay control, which is critical when you have all that video processing going on.
And even with all that processing, the latency it's impressive.
Yeah.
Less than 40 milliseconds at 4K.
It's near instant, visually lossless. And for reliability, it supports power over Ethernet.
So no power brick at the display, assuming you have the right switch.
Exactly. Though it does have a redundant power connection, for those mission-critical installs.
So what we're really saying is Key Digital is using standard network gear to create this incredibly powerful and customizable media engine.
That's it. The software is defining the application, not the physical cables.
Which brings up a really interesting thought, doesn't it? If software like this makes these creative mosaic layouts, drag and drop easy, are we finally going to move past the boring rectangle?
It's a compelling idea. I mean, if the cost of creating complex artistic layouts drops to basically zero, maybe architecture will start integrating screens into the building itself, into the organic shapes, instead of just
hanging a rectangle on a flat wall. The screen becomes part of the wall, not just a fixture on it. A fascinating place to leave it. Thanks for listening to this deep dive.